Nikole, I want to ask you something because you also have some news about how at least one of the defectors may have come around to vote for Johnson. What can you tell us?
Well, obviously, we are hearing from one of them right now, Ralph Norman. If he comes a little closer to the camera, we might be able to hear more of what he is saying. But we do know in terms of Congressman Keith Self, he did say that he spoke with President-elect Trump earlier today, as well as after the vote. As Congressman Norman gets a little closer, I'm going to see if maybe we can get him to stop at the camera real quick. Congressman, why did you change your vote?
Love you, brother. We had a good discussion.
Can you stop very briefly? Why did you change?
Hold on, let me get over here right quick. I'll come right back.
Well, we're on live, so if you could just tell us very quickly.
No, I mean we had a talk with President Trump. We got in there. I never know how this stuff's going to come out. I didn't know how people are going to vote. The fact that we got together, Mike gave us his assurances he's going to fight for the things we think are important for the country. And was it worth taking another hour? Yes. And so I'm excited with the way it came out. Mike is too.
All right, thank you, Congressman. All right, so you heard it there. I may have lost my IFB very briefly, so I may or may not be able to hear you, but you heard directly there from Congressman Ralph Norman of South Carolina, one of two House Republicans who switched his vote in favor of Speaker Mike Johnson, saying that he, too, spoke with President-elect Trump and is taking Speaker Mike Johnson at his word in terms of some of the reforms that he would like to see going forward from this speaker, and that is kind of what helps seal the deal for him. As I mentioned right before we got Congressman Norman, Congressman Keith Self, also someone who switched his vote after speaking with the president-elect. So clearly there was a lot of phones being worked, a lot of conversations being had, but now we know certainly that the president-elect did help play a role in helping Speaker Mike Johnson to secure this vote. And it really doesn't come as a huge surprise because the president-elect very vocally expressed his support for Speaker Mike Johnson, endorsed him in the run-up to this speaker's race, hosted him at Mar-a-Lago. The two have met many times. They met here in Washington not too long ago at the Army-Navy game, and they have really been strategizing in terms of how to implement the president-elect's agenda, which is something the speaker just laid out here on the floor in terms of talking about securing the border, in terms of talking about energy independence, in terms of fiscal responsibility, trying to cut the size of the federal government. All of these policies we heard the speaker lay out, but much of that stemming from President-elect Trump's agenda. So this also, there was a lot on the line for the president-elect from that standpoint, which is likely why he was very much involved in this process as all of this drama played out.
There is no one better. It is a privilege to get to watch you and your cameraman work. Thank you so much for getting that live interview for us.